Hi guys, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial. This is a look that I actually did on the Maid of Honor on a wedding event that I did. What am I talking about? Wedding gig that I did. The bride requested a soft, smoky, purpley eye, and that's typically not what I like to do. I love to do shimmer on the eye. My mom used to call me Mrs. Sparkle because I would literally put glitter on everything, and I especially love to put glitter on my eyes. So for her to request something all matte, I was kind of like, you know, a little scared, but this is what I came up with on her, and I absolutely loved it. So I thought that I would share it for my channel and show you guys how I did it. And yeah, I hope that you like this. It is a talk through. You are going to hear some buses because I live on a busy street, and as much as I try to cut some of it out, you can still hear it, and I do apologize for that. But I just wanted to do a talk through because I just really like doing these kind of videos, but I feel like a lot of people get mad because they can hear, you know, the traffic outside. But anyway, I hope that you guys like this. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get started. And I already moisturized and all that. I'm going to start off with a primer. I'm using the Pores No More by Dr. Brandt, and I got this in an Ipsy sample, and I've just loved it. It just does a really good job of filling in pores and just makes your foundation look flawless. I used this on a couple of girls over the weekend. I did a wedding, and some of the girls had a lot of pore action going on, and this just smoothed out their skin so nicely that I was like, wow, this is some good stuff. So primer is on. I'm also going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm using, of course, MAC's Painterly Paint Pot because, let's just be real, that's what I always use. And I actually hit pan on this. I am so excited. Can you see that? I've had this paint pot forever, it seems. Primer's on. I'm going to use the Naked Basics palette. This is the original one. I have not purchased the new one, and I don't know if I'm going to because I really like this one. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, of course. This is a MAC 224, and I'm going to dip into the color Naked. And this is going to go, obviously, on our crease. And this is a really subtle contouring shade. It just is really light, but it definitely gives a really nice shadow and depth to your eye, which is why I really like it. Next, I'm going to grab this brush that I got in my Ipsy bag this month, and this is the Crown brush, and it's a dual-sided brush. It has a shadow brush and a crease brush, which is really, really handy. So I'm going to take the shadow side, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the shadow side, and I'm going to dip into Foxy, which is that vanilla matte creamy color right there, and I'm going to place that all over the lid. I zoomed you in a little bit because I felt like you were too far. Next, I'm going to take the shadow in Indian Ink, and this is by MAC, and I'm going to take that on a fluffier, smaller brush. And this is a Sigma E25, and I'm going to start applying some color to the lid. So I'm just going to start applying that right here, and you want to be very careful with this color because it is really pigmented, but we want kind of like a soft, plummy, blown out look. So going little by little will definitely help your blending. Now to add just a little bit more warmth, I'm going to take the Plum color from my Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just grab a tiny bit on the same brush and just apply it to the outer corners. Okay, now I'm going to just take my brush that I was using originally, and I'm going to go back to Foxy, And we're going to put that right all over the lid again, because we did lose some of the brightness that we had in here when we were blending the purple. So just pat that right in. Now to add just a tiny bit more color, I'm going to take Beautiful Iris by MAC. And this is a shimmery color, but I'm just pretty much using it just to really bring out the purple in the other shadows that we put down. So I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush and then just kind of work that in to the contour of the eye. And it'll just bring out the purple just ever so slightly. It won't really change it, it won't make it darker, but it'll just look a little bit more purpley. Going back to the Naked palette, I'm just going to grab Crave, which is that dark brown, and I'm going to take the other side of that pencil brush, of the dual-sided brush, and I'm going to take really little, and I'm going to put that right there, kind of like in a V-shaped form as we've been doing. And this is just going to add a lot more smokiness, depth to the look, you name it. Then I'm taking my blending brush and really lightly blending this out. You don't want to blend it too much because you still want it to be really dark, but you also don't want to just leave it there because it'll just look like you. I'm going to take the tiniest amount of light brown from the Lorac Pro palette 2, and I just want a little bit, literally the smallest amount, and I'm just going to go over the edge of the eye, right there, just to warm up the look just a tiny bit, just because I prefer a warmer kind of look. If you don't like that, you don't have to do that. It's just an extra step that I always take. I am going to highlight the inner corner of the eye with Venus, and I'm just going to place that right on the inner corner just to brighten things up a little bit. The foundation that I've really been enjoying is the Perricone MD No Foundation Serum, and it's a very light coverage foundation, but I just find that it's very moisturizing, and it kind of just feels like I am applying moisturizer and foundation at the same time. So I pop some on the back of my hand, and I'm just taking a Real Techniques, what are you called, the buffing brush, and I'm just gonna apply this to my face. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to be using Estee Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. And I wear the color light to medium. Packing on the concealer these days. Story of my life. But one good thing about this concealer is that it really stays in place. Like, this is a no joke kind of concealer. Like, it is not budging. I always like to go back with my fingers and just blend some of that concealer in because I don't like streaks. Okay, so I do like to set my foundation. Not because I don't like the finish, I do like the finish, but I find that if I don't set this foundation, it doesn't last as long. So I'm going to be using my Nars Crystal Loose Powder, whatever it's called. You guys know which one it is. And I'm just taking very little and setting my face. Setting my face. For bronzer, I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And I'm just gonna contour a little bit. For blush, I'm going to be using Plum Foolery by MAC, and this is a really pretty blush. It does have some sparkle in it, so I think I'm going to skip out on the highlighter. So I'm not going to be doing winged liner or anything like that, just because I really liked how it looked on the Maid of Honor that I did. So I'm just going to use a black pencil to tight line my lash line. And I'm also going to just put some liner in my waterline. But we are going to smoke out the bottom lash line, of course. And I'm just going to go back to Indian ink, and I'm going to take a pencil brush and we're going to apply that to the bottom. Okay, so now I'm just going to apply some mascara. I'm using the Voluminous Butterfly Intenza mascara. That is really nice. I really like this mascara. I didn't get a chance to do the review, but I'll let you know now. It's really good. I like it. Just going back and adding a little bit more Venus to the inner corners. Okay, so I'm just going to do my eyebrows and I'll be right back. Okay, so brows are done, and I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight to my brow bone. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that Venus color, very little, and just pop that right there on the highest point of the brow. Now for lips, I decided to go with MAC's lip liner in Whirl, and I'm just going to rub some of that lip balm I had on off. And I'm just going to line my lips with this. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in. And I'm going to use MAC's Blankety. So this is the final look.